audio feed off us?
No, I don't.
How'd you do it last time? You did it with Melton last week.
Oh, that might have been another guy.
Ah,
Yeah, because I don't have the actual radio. They didn't give me one to plug in.
well, I can plug this in, but I don't know how you set your levels. Have you got a level indicator on the
Yeah, I think there's a.
Well, you want to plug this in?
Yeah.
Give it a go.
Cheers.
But that's, hang on, I'll just put it on lock so you won't shift everything.
Yeah.
Make this lock.
Awesome.
But it's $300 worth, so be careful.
Yeah, no, I'll keep good care of it. Thanks for that.
All right. Just let me know.
Yeah, no, it's too easy. After the game, do you want me to give it back to you? Like, do you want to come back here, or do you
Yeah, I'll
want
come
me?
back here.
Centre bowler. Up they go. Tap one by Spiteri. Ball at ground level. There's English who I was just speaking about. First tackle up and about. Good to see. Umpire blows the whistle. It'll come in and affect the ball up. Right in the middle of a very firm Darley Park this afternoon. Blue skies overhead. Just the wind to speak of in the elements. Baker with another touch. Got the ball to Scotland. Gave the Cullen. Customary grubbery kick there early from Cullen. Ball gets
Sweet catch of this.
Easy push!
Because I've got the option here. But it's grayed out. Give me one sec. I'll wait for the next goal.
Okay.
And I'll chuck her in.
All right, no worries.
Or even just the first quarter, I'll just have
Oh,
it know.
whatever you want to do. And
ball. Right foot kick's okay. Go to the page. Leads the Rustel Proprietary Limited Abergany 8.5 FM Player of the Year for the Devils. Right foot kick. Got towards half forward. Missed the target there in Bewley. The opponent was able to gather the football, and then good defensive pressure there from the youngster Bewley that enforces the ball up. Half forward, Social Club side of the ground. Devils kicking to the Grey Street or Town End. There'll be a repeat stoppage on half forward. Devils will be happy with the way they're going at the moment, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Perfect start.
Tap one by Powling was more hopeful than anything else. Baker ended up with a football, gave the ball over to Nick Graham. Kick across the body had to be good. It was.
He started well, Brad English. Someone hasn't played for nearly 18 months in the seniors.
Yep, you've just put the commentator's curse on him there straight away. That right foot kick was pretty ordinary, and Fisher did the mopping up and then went lateral to Vanderhoel. They like going to the big fella. He's normally good by foot. And he wheels and goes to the Social Club side of the ground. You can see the ball holding up in the breeze, and the mark's being taken there by McPherson. Right foot kick's a beauty. Laces out. Got the ball towards Garner. He goes further along the line. The big fella there in McGrath couldn't take the mark, but the youngster Stevenson has conceded a free kick. And the youngster, the left footer, gets the ball towards half forward. Very open forward line. There's just Hooper and Leonard deep. But the Devils have the numbers here, just inside their defensive 50. Brian Graham was tackled, taken to the ground. The umpire, well, he probably should have played dropping the ball. He let it go, let off there for the Devils. Baker was just knocked off the footy there. A little bit more desperate here on this occasion. Were Ballarat, combining with hand pass was O'Farrell, got the ball to Kennedy. He's a left footer. He'll have a shot on goal. Has he put it through? I think he might. Another goal against the Breeze to Ballarat. They'd be happy with that. Yeah. Devils will be furious. 5-2-32, Darley. They lead Ballarat 2 goals straight 12.
Ballarat just brought through their defence, and there was no desperation from Darley defenders here, and they don't normally give up easy goals like that.
How long have we been playing in this opening term? We've got 5 minutes remaining in this opening term. Let's score 5-2-32. Darley leading Ballarat 2 straight 12. Brought to you by Jared Harrington Accountants. And on such a windy day like today, the ball will be so often getting away from the public. Just takes a fair effort to retrieve the footy, because it's time to have a look at what's going on in the Sebastopol Lake Windaree game at the moment. Sebast 4-3-27 lead Lake Windaree, no score. Wow. Sebast are on today at Sebast. There's the ball up. Tap one by the Devils. Got it to Baker. Quick hands to Bradley Inglis. Left foot kick inside 50. Went looking for Cadman. Might have been held without it. The umpire said no. Chance here for Wine to do the mopping up. Hand pass was okay. Got the ball over towards Hill. His left foot kick was ordinary. Cut off there by Nick Graham. Kick across the body. Beautiful. Found Lee Spateri. Got some separation on McPherson and took a nice mark on the chest 25 metres out from goal.
Yeah, not enough movement here inside Darley's 50. There should be leads going everywhere here to try and open up a bit of space. It's a tough kick from that boundary.
They've just got to keep pressing the Devils. I did mention Sebastopol 27, Lake Windaree no score. There's the right foot kick from Spateri.
What's good?
This could well be the Franklin Foods goal of the day from the boundary line. Lee Spateri, if you don't mind, kicks his first of the afternoon, and the Devils sixth. They're 6-2-38. They lead Ballarat 2 goals straight 12. It's a 26-point ball game here at Darley Park. Of course, the Devils kicking with the Breeze in this first term. The goal kickers, Nick Graham has 2, Lee Spateri 1, so 2 Jack Bewley, Jake Edwards and Heath Scotland, whilst for Ballarat, Kennedy has 1, and so too does Garner. Back in the middle of the ground here. Ball up. Neither ruckman can gain any ascendancy. There's Nick Graham out of the middle, if you don't mind. Kick the ball forward. The youngster Cabin dropped what he should have taken. Carrick was then slung and taken to the ground and penalised for holding the ball. And the free kick will go to Fisher. He'll get the Swans out of trouble. Devils need to keep pressing. It looks like Sebast are on in Ballarat. So the Devils just trailed Sebast by 4 points on aggregate on the percentage front. So they'll need to outscore, or they'll need to defeat Ballarat today by far more than Sebast defeat Lake Windaree. But it's all pretty square at the moment in the aggregate side of things, as Ballarat just go chip for chip, still not out of trouble yet. That was an ordinary kick there from Prendergast. Opportunity here for a Devils turnover. Graham was in, Bewley was just taking a ground left foot kick. Inside 50 for the Devils. The mark's been taken there by Van der Heuvel. Swings on the kick. Comes to the outer side of the ground. Collie had to be good. Got a hand on it. Second attempt was okay. Then got sloppy below the knees. Now he's under pressure. He's got two Ballarat players over him. The umpire says, I'll have it. There'll be a ball up. Outer side half forward flank here for the Devils. They lead 6-2-38. Ballarat a 2 goals straight 12. 4 minutes to go. Opening two. Devils need more goals with the breeze. As greedy as it sounds, that's the scenario. That will decide whether they get second place or not come 5 o'clock. Baker been in good form in recent weeks. Left-hand pass was good to Page. His left foot kick along the line, defensive side of the ground. Finds touch over the line for a boundary throw-in. 65 metres around from the Darley goal.
I like one more way, one here, Darley, going with a real tough time.
Yeah, you'd think a goal here, because they kicked two against the breeze, a goal here would be about par for the course with the breeze. 4 minutes remain. Boundary throwing. 55 metres out from the Darley goal. Breeze favours the Ballarat ruckman. He tapped it straight to Baker. Left foot territory kick. Got about 25 metres to his side. The Devils are now inside 50, but they're on the dead side. The low pocket at the moment. 25 metres around from their goal. All of Darley's A-grade players, if you'd like to separate the group, are all been amongst the play this afternoon. Chance here for Powling, who tried to grab it out of the ruck, stolen there by Scotland. Went around onto the left boot, kick across the body's okay. Van der Heuvel on the last line, as he so often has been this year. He's quite happy to see it through for a rush behind. 6-3-39 Darley. Lead Ballarat 2 goals straight 12. 27-point lead. The last time I checked, that was Sebastopol's advantage, but given Lake Windermere haven't scored, Sebast had the advantage. Out of defence, through Waitman, beyond 50. Cut off there by Page. Right foot kick to the top of the goal square. Catman, the target, couldn't take the mark. Ball at ground level. Anyone's footing here at the moment. Second effort was good there from Bewley to force the stoppage. And there'll be a ball up 15 metres out from the Darley goal.
How long's left?
39 plays 12 here at Darley Park. There's the tap. Went goal side to that tap there from Powling was okay. Put Fisher under the pump. Tackle was good there from Bewley. Ball spilled free from that hand pass from Fisher over the line for a boundary throwing.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Darley set up really well behind the footy here, so it's going to be hard for Ballarat to exit here.
Yeah, they'll be just hoping to hang on here, Ballarat. They're in the ball in the right pocket. There's the boundary throw-in. Shark there by Brian Graham. Just a soccer out of nowhere there from Garner, actually. Went through for a minor score there for the Devils. They're now 6-4-40. They lead Ballarat 2 goals straight 12. Bigger objective or target for the Devils will restrict Ballarat scoring. That's going to enhance their percentage. Chance here for Ballarat to get themselves out of trouble through Fisher. That was okay. Down Prendergast, wheels and goes onto the right boot, goes in for Blackburn on half-back. Defensive side, outer side of the ground, just in front of us here in the commentary position. He can weigh off his options. He's told to move the ball on. Devils running out of time here for a 7th goal for the term. They wouldn't be happy with conceding those two that they did early though, Dave.
Especially the second one. If they made the first one a high tackle in the goal square, the second one they wouldn't be happy about.
Wind definitely playing a part in the conditions here this afternoon, favouring the Grey Street or town end. Excellent combination there from Ballarat there from James, but his right foot kick was ordinary. It was cut off. Chance here for Graham, who combines on the back of an Evans kick, but his ball's been cut off by Waitman on half-back. Wheels and goes onto the right boot, kicks to a vacant centre circle. No one at home there for Ballarat. It's just Page tips the ball. Devils running ahead of the football. Committing themselves hard there was Sutton. Did enough. They won out here. Fraser, tall for a wingman, this fella. Left foot kick goes to the social club side of the ground. The mark's been taken there by Blackburn, covering a bit of ground. He can take a bounce, draws Page, hand pass over the top's okay. Got it to McPherson. His hand pass further afield was okay too. Got it to James, swung the ball onto the left boot, inside 50, and the mark's been taken there by O'Farrell. 50 metres out from goal. Just chipped the ball over the top. Devils poor checking there. Resultant shot on goal here, imminent here for the Swans. Deep in this final term.
Probably the hardest pocket on the ground to kick a goal from.
Minute to go in this opening term. Goals against the Devils crucial this afternoon in the make-up of the final six at the end of today's play. We'll keep an eye on that Sebastopol Lake Windaree game for you. Right foot kicks on its way for the Swans. Not a bad kick across the face of goal though, and off hands through for a minor score. Devils will take that as a let-off. Poor checking in defence there enabled that shot on goal. Ballarat now 2-1-13. They trail Darley 6-4-40. Ball back into play. Kick was okay. Found Brian Graham. He went short. Found brother Nick. Decides to go social side of the ground. Penetrative kick. Went looking for Ankrum. Got an awkward bounce. Leg break past him. Devils running out of time here. Crashing through traffic was Stevenson. On half forward. Tumbling kick. Ordinary kick at that bounces end on end. Looks like there'll be it's close up against the boundary line. The chip over the top's okay. Chance here for Hildemark on the defensive 50. And that'll be it to end the opening quarter here at Darley Park. It's the Devils who lead. Here the second term here at Darley Park. Fowling won that tap. Ankrum in and under. Quick hands was good. Got it to Scotland. Had a very good quarter. Opening quarter did the coach. Right foot kick to an open half forward line. Inglis waited. Gathered was good. Got it to Cadman. Low kick made it difficult for Edwards. Got to him on the bounce. Ended up running past the football. Gathered in the end by Inglis. Right foot. Who gave it to Edwards.
Great kick.
Right foot kick finds Hansen on the lead. And he's taken a mark on the chest. 50 metres out from goal, kicking into that 3 or 4 goal breeze.
Yeah, they were the two men I sort of was hoping would lift for Darley, Hansen and Edwards, and they've combined with each other.
They'll need some deep entries to convert here because this breeze is very tricky. Kicks on its way from Hansen, holding up in the breeze, but coming back. Has he got enough on it? No, it's touched on the goal line. Inglis might have caught one high, ball went to ground. Umpire says, I'll have it. And she will come in and ball it up. 8 metres around from the Darley goal. No score added in the opening minutes. 6-4-40. Darley lead Ballarat 2-1-13. Devils deep into attack. There's the ball up. Tap there won by Vanderhoevel. Close up against the boundary line. Kick out of the congestion from Ballarat. Got it to defensive 50. Graham combined with hand pass over towards Hansen. Kick across the body. He looks in a bad way there. Keep an eye on him at ground level. Right foot clearing kick goes out in the Fraser direction. Had to be good there in that contest and was. So as if Cullen was able to win back that contest, there were 3 Devils waiting there.
Yeah, Hansen's up and he's fine.
Well, he just had to make an excuse for that ordinary kick to make out something went wrong with his foot. There's the kick, 2-on-2 here, and the 2 number 2s here. It's James and Evans. Oh, excellent decision there by the umpire. James a bit disappointed, but it's holding the ball. Free kick will go to the big fella there in Spiteri. He's got a big job to play in the finals this year. He'll be up against it. Plays on with a hand pass, and then Shepherd was good. Got it to Evans. Hand pass over the top to Brian Graham. Out of side centre wing, found Nick. No pressure there from Lee Spiteri to protect Nick Graham there from McPherson. Led off there, though, for the Devils is Brian Graham. Hand pass the ball further afield, looking there towards Spiteri. Juggled, couldn't hang on to it. McPherson close up against the boundary line. Combined with hand pass over towards Fisher. He's hurried right foot kick, gets to the outside centre wing. Good play there from James. Got some separation on Cullen. Knocked the ball forward. Good combination of hand pass. Ball fell back into the hands of James on half forward. Kicks the ball low. Hooper on the lead. Comes out, takes a mark on the chest in front of Darren Leonard.
Yeah, pretty lazy midfield there from Darley. Ballarat went forward and 3 or 4 Darley midfielders were just jogging through the middle of the ground and left Hooper with a ton of space to lead into. Now
Hooper, the leading goal kicker in the season 2019 for not only Ballarat but the league as a whole, normally an excellent kick. Makes no mistake. Straight over the goal umpire's head. He's first of the afternoon and Ballarat's third. They move to 3-2-20. They lead Darley, or they trail Darley 6-4. 20-point ball game here at Darley Park.
Yeah, that's where I'd like to see Darley play one behind the footy. When they're trying to keep him to a low score, Cooper can't have that space if they've got somebody behind the footy.
I want to keep an eye on James too when he goes forward. He's one of their better players. I've seen him play some really good footy this year, and I think looks like Evans has gone to him now. That's a better matchup. All right.
Evans has also started good today.
Back in the middle of the ground. There's the ball up. Spiteri and Powling. One by Powling. Only got as far as Nick Graham. Kept the ball low into the breeze. Excellent kick. Found Hansen. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Opportunity here for Ballarat to rebound. That kick had too much weight on it. and Baker's able to do the mopping up for the Devils. Left foot kick to an open half-forward line. Chance here for Carrick together. Hand pass was okay. Collie needed a favourable bounce. He got one. Broken tackle. Sweeping hand pass found Nick Graham. Went looking for Brian. Went out in front of Brian. He couldn't gather. And Constable will get the Swans out of trouble with a long right foot kick. It must have travelled best part of 75, 80, 90 metres because the ball kept bouncing end on end. Hooper was tackled, taken to the ground. The umpire called play on. Here's a chance now for Evans outside of the right boot. Ended up finding the inside of the right boot and booting it out of bounds on the full. Right in front of the Ballarat coach's box. The Swans will go back into attack.
He'll put it right into the goal square here. If he's got a good kick on him, he could just about get the distance from that pocket.
Now Blackburn with ball in hand. He's kicked a few this year. 12 goals for the season. Funnily enough, Andrew Hooper up forwards kicked 28% of the Ballarat goals this year. Not a bad effort there from Blackburn from the boundary line, but he's going to miss. It'll be a minus score. Ballarat now 3 goals to 20. They trail Darley 6-4-40. Devils yet to score. We've been playing
5 minutes.
5 minutes into this second term. The Devils will be hoping to, even though it's a fair ask, they'll be wanting to outscore Ballarat against the breeze. How about that for a kick in there from Brian Graham?
Great kick.
Found Brad Inglis, played on with a hand pass over to Nick Graham. Look at that kick. It went out wide looking at Inglis. He had 2 to beat there, did Inglis. Chance here for McPherson for Ballarat. Can he get it out and get the ball to Sutton? He can't. Inglis did well, beat 2 in the end. Hand pass was okay, got it out to Brad Inglis. Close up against the boundary line. Had to concede some ground with a hand pass to keep it alive. Opportunity here for Prendergast. Right foot kick goes into the Brian Graham direction. Came out with courage. Ball bounced away from him, fell into the hands of Evans, who found a wild hand pass out into the direction of Inglis, who couldn't keep it in. Brad Inglis, I speak of, over the line. Boundary throw in, 65 metres around from the Ballarat goal. There'll be a throw in to take place right in front of us here in the commentary position.
Yeah, they'll be hoping to win the stoppage here and run and carry this up to half-forward line, Darley.
Ballarat 3-2-20, trail Darley 6-4-40. There's the boundary throw in, tap one by Spiteri, taken away there by Nick Graham. Gave the hand pass over to Collie, gathered it on the second attempt though. Then conceded some ground just to get some space. Left foot kick was high, but well weighted in the end. It found Carrick, who marked on half-back. Right on the corner, Social Club side of the ground. Collie kept running and got the ball back from Carrick with the kick. Went further afield looking towards Spiteri, who read it well. Right in front of the Darley coach's box. Perfect spot to read a footy well, I tell you. Too far out to score. Kick it against the breeze. You're probably 3 kicks away here, the Devils, from a score. Make that 4. He just shanked that out of bounds on the full, if you don't mind. That's what you don't want to be doing in front of the coach's box, Dave.
I don't know how he got it out there.
It's a classic old shank. Ball in hand of Ballarat at the moment on their defensive 50. They go short with a kick and found Nichols. Squaring left foot kick. Finds Van der Hoovel on half-back. Wheels and goes onto the left. Lateral kick. Puts player there, Sutton, under pressure, but he's got time, got a favourable bounce. And passed the ball back inboard. The right foot kick was a safe one. And the mark's been taken there by Constable. Attacking side of centre wing, out of side of the ground. Left foot kick had too much on it for Hooper. A little bit disappointed with that, but he was happy that they didn't take too much time sending that ball forward, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think Darley have to lift their work rate here. They've came out a bit lethargic in this second quarter, not running hard.
Just keep an eye on whether they're playing a 7-man defence, Dave. You did mention that Scotland not a fan of
not at this stage. They're not.
But keep an eye on James here. It'll be interesting to see whether he gets near the footy. There's a chance here for Powney. Got it to James, if you don't mind. His kick across the body got to the top of the goal square, but there's a free kick. It's going to go Darley's way. It's going to go against the Ballarat ruckman for a throw to James. It'll go to Spiteri, who played on with a hand pass to Angwood, and forgot that he was a left footer. Concedes the ground with an ordinary kick. Put Leonard under the pump, and he's forced to rush it through for a minor score. Yep, the old Benny Hill music. That's all that passage of play needed. It's Ballarat's third behind of the afternoon. They're now 3-3-21. They trail Darley 6-4-40, who are yet to score in this second term, the Devils, after piling on 6 of their own. Ball came back into play. Baker was dispossessed. Good play there by Prendergast. Right foot kick into attack was okay. Had too much on it for Hooper. Devils have got numbers through Z Stratton. Wild hand pass was pretty ordinary, in fact. Put McGrath under the pump. Ball ended up on the ground. And the central umpire will come in and effect a ball up 50 metres away from the Ballarat goal. A kick with the aid of a 4-goal breeze in this second term, which the Devils kicked 6 in that opening quarter. Chance here for Hill. Went short to James, who ran through to 35.
James
Makes no mistake. Keep an eye on that player, I tell you. The Swans, Ballarat number 2. James is the man that's dangerous, especially forward to centre. He kicks his first of the afternoon. Ballarat's 4th. They're now 4-3-27.
Yeah, Scotland will be absolutely filthy on that goal. There was no coverage there from the one coming through the front door. Also, no corridor coverage, so that will definitely be highlighted during the week.
Well, Sebastopol are still comfortable leaders over Lake Windaree. They're 42. Lake Windaree yet to score. Wow, the Devils have got some work to do. Back in the middle of the ground here at Darley Park, the Devils are 6-4-40. They lead Ballarat 4-3-27. 13-point ball game here in Apple 98.5 FM's game of the round. There's the ball up. Tap one by Powling. Was okay. Got it towards Fisher. His wild hand pass went towards half forward. Chance here for Page. He gathered, kicked effectively to Baker. Baker onto the left, inside 50. Edwards the fly, taking the mark. Good combination of play there, Page, Baker, Edwards. We've said that a few times this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably best passage of play for the day for Darley. So Jake's got to go back, and it's a very important kick, this one now.
So Edwards kicked one in that opening term. Kicked 33 for the season. He's been very influential forward this year for the Devils. Kicks on its way. It's a tough kick. It's coming back. Has it come back enough? Has it got the journey?
Yeah, he's got it.
I think he might have done that. That's a beautiful kick there from Edwards. He's second of the afternoon, and the reply the Devils were after. That's their first of the term. They're 7-4-46. Ballarat, they're 4-3-27. It's back to 19 points.
Yeah, much needed goal there for Darley just to settle them a little bit. They'd like to follow that one up with another one here.
Bright blue skies overhead, some cloud to speak of, but no rain around here this afternoon. And as I did mention, through the breeze, plenty of breeze to speak of. But that won't be stopping the Darley Reserve boys up there in the Wells pocket this afternoon. Here's an opportunity for Ballarat out of the congestion. Ball got towards half forward. Here's Evans off half back. He was dispossessed. Ball fell into the hands of Inglis. Second effort was good after his kick was smothered. Look at him crashing through. Hand pass was good to Baker. Got it to Page. Right foot kick to the member side centre wing. Anchoran's got time and space to run onto it. Concedes the grab of the hand pass to Nick Graham. Kicks the ball beautifully low into the breeze. And the mark's been taken there by Brad Inglis. Set 3 parts in the chain and just this bit of play here, Inglis. Encouraging signs in his return. He hand passes over towards Angwin. Long left foot kick in the Edwards direction. He's in front. The big fella Vanderhoomel's at the back. And the left footer takes a mark. On the last line of defence here from the Swans, he'll go. Oh, excellent smother there off the boot there by Edwards, but it fell fortuitously into the hands of Wind, who can get Ballarat out of trouble with his right foot kick. Goes into the direction there of Hill. Out in front of he and Z Stratton. The youngster keeps it in. Tries to gain about 30 metres for his side. It does. Ball bounces end on. He gets towards half forward. Out of sight of the ground right in front of us here in the commentary position. It's Darley 7-4-46, who lead Ballarat 4-3-27.
Yeah, I think Darley need to tighten up around the footy here. They've been dusted at the stoppages the last 10 minutes.
Boundary throw in. It's Powling and Spiteri to do the ruck work. Spitteri's tap went in front. There's James again, being busy for the Swans. Kick across the body. Got the ball inside 50. Plenty of weight there and carry there with the breeze. Hooper might have been legged and then knocked off the footy there by Stevenson. The umpire agreed. He was right there. And he's paid a free kick to the club's leading goal kicker, Hooper. And he'll have an opportunity from the boundary line to have a shot on goal. And get the Swans back within touch as they kick with the breeze in this second term. Take one of his best here.
Got it.
How about that? That's class. Don't mind umpire. Goal umpire didn't move. It's Hooper. 6. Ballarat's 5th goal of the afternoon. They're 5-3-33. They trail Darley 7-4-46. It's a 13-point ball game here at Darley Park.
Yeah, you mentioned him a few times of late, Toddy, but you're spot on the money. James is really starting to get on top in that midfield, and I think Darley need to lock down on him pretty quickly.
Yeah, indeed. I saw him towel up back at Smash, even though the Marsh were winners. James had his own footy there for the best part. So
Baker's gone to him there. We'll see if he stays with him.
there's the ball up. Hanson into the ruck, but Powling won that tap, went straight to James, who was tackled by Baker over the shoulder, said the umpire. And the man of the moment, James, right in the middle of the ground here for the Swans. Right foot kick. He missed the last time the Devils played the Swans. His right foot kick gets to the attacking 50. Scotland was good. Quick hands to Stevenson. Found Z Stratton, who gave it back to Stevenson. Left foot kick. Does he keep it in play? No, he doesn't. Over the line, out of bounds on the full. Attacking side of centre wing here for the Swans. Kick inboard's okay. Found Garner. Left foot kick was equally as good. Right in the middle of the ground here. There's an opportunity here for Thulis. Weighs up the options. Right foot kick. Gets to the attacking 50. Brian Graham goes back. Ball had too much weight on it. Went through his hands. Roving at the back there was Darren Leonard. Gave the ball back to Brian Graham. Took a bounce. Got to half back. Gave it towards Bewley. Bewley now on the outer side centre wing. Right foot kick. Measured it beautifully. Got it to Inglis. Mark Andor free kick. You'd think umpire somehow called play on. You wouldn't read about that as Cadman's then taken to the ground and then pinged for holding the ball. Wow. See that back on replay. And Ballarat will take the result. Free kick on half-back. Kicks the ball along the line. They've got numbers here. The Swans through Kennedy. Runs away from Angwin. Left foot kick along the line looking for Hooper. Couldn't quite take the mark off. Hands over the line for a boundary throw-in. Leonard right on his hammer. Just did enough to spoil. And see it off hands for a boundary throw-in.
I think Kennedy's had a few touches of late. I think he got a hold of Darley last time by memory.
Yep, true. Yeah, been a good player for a long time, Kennedy. Boundary throw-in to take place. Ballarat inside 50. There's the throw-in. Tap one by Powling. Went looking towards James at the back. He couldn't gather. Pressure was good, better there from the Devils at that stoppage. Shane Page getting up off the ground.
All got to grab a man here, Darley, or they'll run through the stoppage and kick a goal.
Well, James is in a bit of a bad way there for the Swans. That'll be pleasing for the Devils and real shame for the Swans as they're back in the game here at Darley Park. English tries to keep the ball inside the field of play. On the outer side centre wing he can't, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. True centre wing position.
Yeah, he's caught one, James, in the ankle, but it looks like he'll be fine.
Just got a stinger.
That's right.
Boundary throw-in to take place. Darley 46, lead Ballarat 33. 13-point ball game. Powling was a bit stiff not to cop one high there, but the umpire let it go. Baker's tackle on Kennedy was good. The umpire's going to pick him here. And the left footer Baker, the mid, will take the free kick. He's got paid short, but he's getting the legs to go inboard. Now, this kick's an important one. Has to be good. It came off hands here. Stevenson read it well. Right foot penetrating kick into the breeze. Went looking for Cadman. He was outpointed on that occasion. Swans have the numbers through Fisher. And then Wine. They combine with handball. Short kick was okay. Found Tulis. Inboard was okay. Over towards Sutton. Right foot kick towards half forward. Cullen needs a favourable bounce. Good bit of fielding there by Cullen then as the ball just bounced up nicely. Ankara might have given away a free kick here. It was either held to him or over the shoulder. The umpire says, I'll have it. Couldn't make up his own mind. There'll be a ball up on the attacking side of centre wing members' side of the ground for the Devils who kick against the 4-goal breeze at the moment.
They've got to hold on here to the end of the quarter, Darley. Can't concede again.
They lead by 13 points. Powling with the big thump. Knocked it out wide towards the boundary line. Ankram leading into the race for the football. Went to ground. Scotland kept his feet. And passed the ball back into the field of play. Hanson running onto the footy. He tries to keep it in. He can't. Runs out of time and space. And there'll be a boundary throw in right in front of the coach's box. Albeit the Darley coach's box. How long left, Dave?
8 minutes to go.
Tick over 8 minutes to go in this second term. Darley lead by 13 points. Chance here for Graham. I speak of Nick to break away from the contest. Ball spills free. Fell in the hands of Ballarat. Their kick went to half forward. Stevenson couldn't take the mark. Had the ball punched away from him by O'Farrell. Good disciplined forward defence there from Ballarat. The umpires picked out a free kick. And it's going to go to Stevenson. There's been a fine. Half a dozen going play being good. Plays on with a hand pass. Got it to Cullen. Went through the middle of the ground. Ignored the lead of Cadman and kicked it straight to his opponent. Can you believe it?
Yeah, absolute terrible kick there. Now Cadman led up at him, and it was a pretty easy hit up. And he went to go long. Cadman's man went back and took an easy mark.
Yeah, touched off the boot though. That's why Van der Hoover was forced to play on. Ball up, true centre-half forward position here for Darley, who kicked to the Raglan Street end. Scotland out of the congestion. Hurry kick, got it to Edwards. Forced a hand pass, got it over towards Inglis. Get the ball low, and a kick and a goal against the run of play in the last couple of minutes.
And they've all got around him too, welcoming him back into the team.
And he's been influential in this opening half. The Devils faithful to be very happy with his opening half contribution. Brad Inglis gets his first goal of the afternoon. It's Darley's 8th. They're 8-4-52. They lead Ballarat 5-3-33. 19-point ball game here at Darley Park.
Yeah, they'll be a lot more happy with that stoppage then, Darley. It was just work ethic, just punching it forward and nothing pretty, and just slap it on the boot and it goes through.
Sebastopol 42, lead Lake Windermere 3. Halfway through the second quarter there up in Ballarat. Here's the ball up. Back in the middle of the ground after that goal to Brad Inglis. Tap one there by Powling. Only went as far as Brian Graham. Just went through traffic, was okay, got the ball to Hanson. Wild left-hand hand pass. Angwin has got time and space here to deliver on the left. The kick's a beauty.
It's a better hit up.
Found Cadman, who kicked it straight into the hands of the youngster there in Prendergast. Reading it beautifully there was Brian Graham. Got it to brother Nick. This ball's gone about 40 metres up into the breeze. Gets to the top of the square, and an excellent mark taken there on the last line there by Ballarat, who can clear and get out of trouble with the right foot kick. Ballarat gets towards half back. Kennedy can wheel and go onto the preferred left. Squaring kicks, not a bad one. Found Blackburn, who took a mark in front of Evans. Blackburn went to go and then dropped the footy.
Just gave Darley's defence time to get back then.
Goes in board with the right. Kicks okay. Finds Constable. Out of side centre wing. Just runs around Hanson there. Looked a bit tired. Kick inside forward. Oh, taking a beautiful mark there by Hooper. Outpointed Leonard on that occasion. Kept his feet. Ran away. Ran into an open goal and put through Ballarat's 6th of the afternoon. All class Andrew Hooper.
Yeah, absolutely. We said at quarter time that Hooper probably needs to kick 2 or 3 this quarter to keep him in the game. He's definitely done that, and he's really starting to get on top of Leonard once the ball hits the ground. So not sure if they go for a change there or not.
Hooper has 3 goals now, and Ballarat have 6. They're 6-3-39. Darley are 8-4-52. 13-point ball game here at Darley Park.
I suppose they probably look at it and think if Leonard can't get the job done, though, who could?
Yeah, excellent player. Werribee leading goal kicker in the VFL in 2018. And, of course, a leading goal kicker in the Sandford with Glenelg some years ago. And, of course, 7 games with the Western Bulldogs in the AFL. So, an impressive resume. He's a tough matchup for any side. Back in the middle of the ground. There's the ball up. Tap one by Powling. When looking towards Kennedy. The umpire says, I'll have it, and he'll ball it up. Ballarat have kicked 4 goals in their second term to Darley's 2. Here you go, the Swans again through Kennedy out of side centre wing. Hand pass was okay. Got it over towards the youngster there in Hill. Conceded some ground with a hand pass to Nichols. Back to Hill. They're on half back now, the Swans. They got it to Van der Heuvel. He's their designated kicker. Fisher Sutton with ball in hand now. Goes short. Was okay. Running towards the outer side centre wing. There's the kick inside 50 now. Stevenson at the back. Applies the spoil on O'Farrell. Ball comes off hands over the line for a boundary throw-in. 48 metres around from the Ballarat Swans goal.
Yeah, they'll have to be man on man deep in a stoppage here in the back half for Darley. Can't concede.
22 minutes gone in this second term here at Darley Park. It's the Devils who lead 8-4-52 to 6-3-39. 13-point ball game. Here's a chance here for Constable. Went running into a goal and then was tackled there by Lee Spiteri. Good defensive pressure there from Spiteri. Forced the errant kick. Ball ended up grubbering along the ground and going through for a minor score.
They got out the front door again then. Darley did have coverage, but there was only one man there and he got through him.
Graham's kick was a risky one, had to be good because he went straight down the middle and found Evans, who put Nick Graham under the pump, gave the big don't argue. Was effective nonetheless. Right foot kick. Oh, Inglis did very well there. Played on, gave the hand pass over towards Spiteri. Ran his full measure away from Powling. Right foot kicked inside the attacking 50. Edwards the fly, couldn't take the mark. Carrick at the back. But the Swans will do the mopping up and get out of trouble. And Powling will take the mark on half back. Loping, slow, right foot kick, had too much on it for Hill. Ball fell into the hands of Brian Graham's, had plenty of it in the opening half. Keeps the ball low, turnover kick. Disappointing finish there from Graham. And the Swans through Nichols. Left foot kick towards half-back Stevenson. Athletic spoil on the footy. Got the ball to ground. Chance here for Cullen. Cleverly with just managed to get enough toe on the footy to get it over towards Brian Graham. Right foot kick finds Page, who marks it just inches above the grass here on Darley Park. Just inside the boundary line on half-back. Right foot kick goes looking for Bewley. Strong overhead. Out-pointed. Was outsized there, Bewley, but did well. Out-pointing Powling on that occasion. Played on with a hand pass over towards Hanson. His kick was just to nobody in particular. Landed in between about 4 players. Excellent smother there from Spiteri, but he's over the footy now. The umpire will make the right decision. She does. There'll be a ball up on half forward, out of side of the ground for the Devils, who kick against the breeze in this second term. They're heading to the Raglan Street end. There's the ball up. Tap one by Powling. Out in the direction there of towards that play there in Fisher. Gathered by Nick Graham, got it to Brian. Right foot kick from Brian Graham was okay, and Bewley has had a good couple of minutes here, the youngster.
Not sure how Brian got out of that. But
weighs up the option. Tumbling right foot kick, struggled into the breeze, was an ordinary one at that. Another turnover kick here, opportunity here for Sutton to switch play. Goes to the members' side of the ground. Still deep into defence. Garner with ball in hand. Look at that for a kick. It's an absolute ripper as Prendergast ran onto it and marked on half back. Played on. Got the hand pass over towards play there in Kennedy. Got the ball towards the attacking 50. Punched away from O'Farrell there by Stevenson, and the youngster's going to square away that contest, and there'll be a stoppage at true centre half forward position for Ballarat, who was 6 goals, 440.
Too high. He copped the high one. He's got the free kick.
Darley are 8-4-52. 12-point ball game here at Darley Park after the Devils led by 27 at quarter time. Luther Baker's kick got beyond the centre wing. Cadman's hand pass just went behind Brian Graham. He was then tackled, managed to get a hand pass away to Carrick, but the umpire's going to bring it back. He's going to penalise Brian Graham for holding the ball.
Bit red hot that. I thought he got rid of it in time, but she's umpired quite well, that girl.
Play on goes Nichols. Ball gets towards the outer side half forward line. It's an excellent mark taken there by Hill. Up against the boundary line, weighs up the options. Right foot kick, keeps it low, cut off beautifully by Engwin, who marks on the defensive 50 here for the Devils, and he'll get them out of trouble. Couldn't be long left in this second quarter. About 3 minutes remaining in this second term. Devils will be happy to pinch one against the breeze. There's the long raking left foot kick there from Angwin, but it's again being cut off by the Swans. They concede some ground with a kick. It had too much on it for Sutton. Chance here for Spiteri with the tackle. Tulis lends some assistance there for Ballarat. Good tackle there from Graham over the footy. Ballarat combined with hand pass and a high left foot kick from Nichols. High up and under. Got it towards half forward. O'Farrell read it better than anyone else. His second effort on the footy was okay. Just knocked Cullen out of the contest too easily. Ball at ground level. The umpire will blow the whistle and come in and effect the ball up on half forward here for Ballarat. They're 6-4-40. They trail Darley 8-4-52. 12-point ball game here at Darley Park. Deep in time on here, second term. Chance here for Baker, who, just as he gathered, he was dispossessed, and the umpire has pinged. Free kick's going to go to Baker. I don't think there was much prior there. Much of the disappointment there of the Ballarat faithful as Baker plays on. Left foot kick was good. Got it to Stevenson. Went further afield to centre wing, found Inglis. Speak of Brad, his right foot kick along the line's okay to Nick Graham. Marks just inside the boundary line. He's too far out to score. Attacking side of centre wing. Members side of the ground. Kicking against the breeze in this term. He's told to play on by the umpire. Keeps the kick low. It's good. Found Cadman. Good one. Grab here from the youngster. Turns around onto the right boot. Kick across out in the Edwards direction. Comes out and takes a nice mark.
Such a smart kick that by Cadman. Jake Edwards called for it long, and Cadman knew if he went long it would get chopped off, so he kicked it out into the space and made him work into it.
Yeah, I just think Edwards has made it a bit hard for himself though, just leading to the low side, so it's going to take an almighty kick into this breeze. It's going to go left or right. It's going to hold up. So let's see how he goes. Edwards, kick 2 this afternoon. Kicks it straight into the man on the mark. Can you believe it? Second effort was okay as he gathered. Blinds one, turn, then switches play to the other side half forward. It'll be easy to score from this side. Brad Inglis was just knocked off the footy too easy there for my liking. Ball goes to ground. And a bit of a stacks on the mill. Whistle imminent. Oh, she's pinged. Well, he's pinged a player there. Free kick's going to go to Darley. It's going to go to Brad Inglis. Had a good opening half. Plays on with a hand pass to Angwin. Didn't see Hill coming off the bench there. Left foot kick goes to the outer side.
Ankrum.
Attacking 50. The mark's been taken there by Ankrum. Just inside the boundary line. Too far out to score. 30 seconds remaining. Devils, top of the goal square. Edwards the target. Brian Graham at the back. Needs a favourable bounce. What can happen? If anyone can do it, Brian can. He was tackled, taken to the ground. The Swans are going to get out of trouble. Left foot kick gets beyond half back. Evans with ball in hand. Brings the ball back into play. The mark's been taken there by Bewley.
Those reserves players have got you in that pocket here, Toddy.
Down there in the Wells pocket. They'll be hoping that, Wells rested today. I think they must be saving him for finals. I think that's what happened. Bewley with ball in hand. We'll have the shot on goal. It'll take his best effort into the breeze. Kicks on its way. It's going to hold up. It's not going to get the journey, such as the influence of the breeze here at Darley Park. It's half-time. Darley are 8-4-52. Ballarat 6-4-40. 12-point lead to the Devils. We'll take a break and we'll come back and I'll tell you what's going on in other things Ballarat League football before a music break.
This quarter was proudly sponsored by Darley Bearing Supplies, Albert Street, Darley. Phone 53676766.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 53701478.
Welcome back to Darley Park. It is half-time here. And I can tell you that the Devils lead by 2 straight kicks there. 8 goals for 52. They lead Ballarat 6-4-40. Darley kicked 6 goals in the opening term with the breeze. Ballarat 2 against it, whilst the Devils managed 2 against it of their own. And Ballarat booted 4. So there's the advantage there. 2-goal lead to Darley. What's happening in other games in the Ballarat League at the moment? I can tell you that Sebastopol, they're 7-7-49. They lead Lake Windermere 2-3-15. Melton South still lead North Ballarat 6-6-42. North Ballarat 4-4-28. Melton 6-6-42. Lead Redan 1-4-10. And Sunbury, they're back in front against Bacchus Marsh. That's the breeze we were thinking about there, Dave. 7-7. Time to get played away here for the third quarter here at Darley Park. James with the first clearance for the Swans. Left foot kick off to half forward. Reading it well there was Angren, who marked on half back. Went onto the left boot, outer side centre wing, looking there towards Bewley. Needs a favourable bounce, didn't get one. Ball bouncing end on end, just exposed for pace there by Nichols. Ball goes over the line for a boundary throw in. Attacking side of centre wing, outer side of the ground for Darley. They lead by 12 points. Opening minute, third term. They kick with the breeze in this third quarter. I'm joined by Dave Bowie this afternoon. Dave, very important that the Devils get the ball over to the social club side of the ground to max out their opportunity to score.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to play it out here, but this played into Ballarat's hands out this side of the ground.
Congestion of footy on the outer side of the ground as Evans combines with a hand pass over to Nick Graham, who was pretty busy in that opening half. Ball gets inside 50, shallow entry. But the Swans can do the mopping up and get it out wide towards the boundary line, looking for Kennedy and Ankrum on a one-on-one. But the boundary line, you'd think, would beat them both. Kennedy's now it's out of bounds. Ankrum wanting an out-of-bounds call, but Jake not knowing that the whole ball needs to be over the boundary line, Dave.
No, it wasn't out.
Boundary throw to take place. Darley 8-4-52, lead Ballarat 6-4-40. Devils must win game for a top 3 finish. Of course, first is out of the question. The way Sebastian going at the moment, looks like second's going to be out of reach as well. But there's still a game on here in earnest. You had to listen to Heath Scotland at half-time. What do you have to say, Dave?
Yeah, he wasn't real happy with the accountability, so he wants to see a little bit more one-on-one football and just beat your direct opponent and start things from there.
Yeah, they've played some good footy despite what their position on the ladder suggests, Ballarat. They did beat Melton. And they got within 2 goals of Sunbury, a goal of Darley, 3 goals of Sebas. So they've matched it with the top side superiors. Left foot kick from Nichols, though, gets the Swans beyond centre wing. Looks like there's going to be a free kick here to James. Arguably the Swans' best player in the opening half, Dave.
Becoming a real headache for Darley here.
Right on true centre wing, outer side of the ground here. James will go along the line, get the ball towards the attacking 50 at the back there. Leonard combines with hand pass to Page. Left foot kick Gets them out of trouble. Baker, heavy knock, went to ground. Copped a hard one there from Blackburn. Left foot kick from Angwin. Gets the ball towards half forward. In front, Bewley couldn't take the mark. McPherson kept his feet. Good second effort there by Bewley. Good tackle by Spiteri. And just to be rewarded there by the umpire.
Yeah, wrapped the arm up, couldn't get rid of it. Great
She's had a
tackle.
good day with the whistle, the young lady, officiating this afternoon.
Stumpled really well.
Spiteri with ball in hand, out of side, half forward. Swings onto the right boot. Keeps the ball low. Wasn't meant for Bewley, but he marked it in the end. He's on true half forward here. It's on the low side of the ground, defensive side, albeit the outer. Goes deep into attack. Edwards at the back. Read it beautifully. Took an ice mark. Well weighted kick there by Bewley. Edwards just nice little use of the body, pushing Vanderhoovel under the footy. And he in turn went into wind. The outstretched hands of Darley's leading goal kicker in season 29. Jake Edwards will go back and have a shot on goal from the top of the goal square.
Yeah, he'll make no mistake about that. It was one of those ones. One umpire will give it in the back, the other one will give it a mark. He's kicked truly.
He's put it straight through. Edwards as his third goal of the afternoon. Darley's ninth. They're 9-4-58 Darley. They lead Ballarat 6-4-40. It's out to an 18-point ball game. And what else did Heath Scotland have to say at halftime, Dave?
Yeah, he was just really... he wants them to get back to playing the Darley brand of football, which is actually hunting the football and hunting the opposition, not rolling one out to the back, try and get the easy received handball and play pretty footy. Win it at the source and work from there.
The Devils have 9 goals this afternoon, 3 to Edwards, 2 to Nick Graham, 1 each to Lee Spiteri, Jack Bewley, Heath Scotland and Brad Inglis, whilst for the visiting Ballarat, Andrew Hooper has 3, Sam James 1, Will Garner and Daniel Kennedy each have 1 apiece. Back in the middle of the ground here, opening minutes, probably been playing 3 or 4. Devils with the opening goal through Edwards. So they look to extend with the breeze in this third turn. There's the ball up. Tap one there by Powling. Ball at ground level. Shark by Kennedy. Hand pass was good to Garner. Got time to measure the kick inside 50 and the Hooper direction. One gather was good by Hooper. Kick across the body. Shot on goal gets to the teeth of goal. Doesn't have the journey seen through for a rush behind there by Corey Cullen. Point registered there. It's the Devils. Get beyond half-back, beyond the defensive 50. Scotland with ball in hand, penetrating kick. Nice mark taken there by Carrick. Attacking side of centre wing, members side of the ground. They're on the right side of the ground to score from. Kick was good from Carrick. Got it over towards that play there in Graham. He got it towards half forward. Stevenson a long way from home. He's dispossessed. Ball breaks free. Chance here for the Swans to rebound on the other side. Blackburn needs a favourable bounce. It favoured Z Stratton. Went searching for the boundary line with a defensive hand pass. Couldn't quite find it. As soon as Blackburn gathered it, he carried it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Outer side of the ground, true centre wing position. Darley with the only goal of the third turn through Jake Edwards.
Yeah, Carrick took a nice lead-up mark on the other side of the ground. That they need to get a bit more out of him. They put him up forward to find a spark, but he's been very quiet.
Boundary throw to take place. Powling to do the ruck work. Been good today, the Swans ruckman. But the tap favoured Kennedy, who went looking there towards Fisher. He's over the footy. Tackle. What's the umpire going to do? He says held to him. Let it go for long enough to suggest that he was going to pay a holding the ball decision to Baker, but nonetheless, the umpire says, I'll have it. He balls it up. Tap one by Powling. Got it towards Fisher. Threw the ball onto the boot. He's been okay today, Fisher. Kick off towards half forward. Hooper, rare occasion. He didn't trap the footy. Normally good on the bounce. Opportunity here for Hill outside of the boot. Gains a few metres for his side, but it's all Darley on the defensive 50. As soon as Angwin grabbed it, he was tackled, taken to the ground by O'Farrell, and pinged, said the umpire. And O'Farrell has the ball too far out to score into this breeze. Goes short, inboard, out on the lead. Beautifully read there by Nick Graham, probably Darley's best in the opening half, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
His use of the footy's been exemplary in these windy conditions. Found Cullen, who played on with a hand pass to Brian Graham. His right foot kick got to half forward, set up beautifully for Bewley. He's then swooped upon there by Ballarat defenders and conceded a free kick in the meantime. And Ballarat with ball in hand, Vanderhoovel. Tallest man on the ground. Normally good by foot, albeit the left. Goes lateral. Swan's not out of trouble yet, but they have ball in hand. Kicking against the breeze. Right foot kick gets to the member side centre wing. Unmarked players here. Chance here for Prendergast to break through the middle. Right foot kick there from the centre wing position. Got to Hooper. Made it look a bit easier than what the kick was, in fact. Chance here for Hill, the youngster, combining with the right foot kick. Outnumbered here, Leonard. They have the numbers through Hooper. Kick across the body. Doing the Sharking on the goal line for the Devils there was Stevenson. He couldn't quite trap the footy. Ball spilled free, went through for a rush behind.
Yeah, Leonard in a one-on-one with Hooper then. Thought Angwin had to come in and be the third man in. He stood back and spectated a little bit there.
Page with ball in hand now. Shane Page goes to the members' side of the ground. Goes along with the drop punt. Starting to get a bit dark overhead here now. Can you believe it? Bright blue skies. Perfect one day. Melbourne the next. Chance here for Inglis. Ball in hand. Hand pass was okay. Got it to Nick Graham. Kept the ball low. Kick was effective. Mark taken there by Hanson just inside the boundary line. True centre wing members side. Keeps the ball low. Was okay. Found Carrick. They need goals here, the Devils with the breeze. Concedes some distance with a 45 kick to Angwin. He's on the defensive side of centre wing. Looks for a lateral kick. Weighted kick was pretty good. Travelled about 50 metres. Got to the other half back line. Why you'd want to be going to the low sides beyond me though. But Leonard found Scotland, who found Edwards on the lead. Took a mark from 55. Went to get around wide. Got to 50. Set sail for the judge. It's going to go mesh to the left side. And options there. Edwards.
Yeah, waste of opportunity. Probably should have went back and seen what was inside forward 50. I reckon he would have hit someone up, but he took the mark and turned and wasted a golden opportunity.
Speaking of turning, I tell you what, this weather's going to turn in about 40 minutes, I reckon. Back out of defence here go the Swans, but it's Spiteri doing the mopping up. Got it to Brian Graham. Had too much on it there for Inglis. Ball went to ground. Fell in the hands of Fewless. His short kick was lateral, but okay. Deep in defence. Hill takes the mark. Plays on with a hand pass. Put Van der Heuvel under pressure from Baker. But Van der Heuvel's got time to get the left foot kick and get the Swans out of trouble. But he had too much on it. Disappointing effort there from the Swans big man.
Got to be a smart kick, this one.
So Z Stratton with ball in hand. Well, you've gone from shorts and thongs to a jacket and a beanie in about 20 minutes here at Darley Park. Can you believe it? The Swans will get out of trouble through James. Had plenty of it. Right foot kick gets towards half back. Ball at ground level. Stevenson does the sharking. His hand pass was there and missed the target there in Nick Graham over the line for a boundary throw-in. Right in front of the Darley Social Club here this afternoon. Darley with just the one goal with the breeze in this third term. They're 9-5-59. They lead Ballarat 6-6-42. Boundary throw-in. Powling to do the ruck work. He won that tap. Went straight to James. Ball on boot. Right foot kick. Got plenty of it. Went in direction there of Prendergast. He couldn't take the mark. Good spoil there by Leonard. Ball falls free. Chance here for Ballarat to go inside 50. Cullen got a terrible bounce. Favoured Kennedy. Hand pass over the top to Blackburn. Gave it back to Kennedy. Gets onto his not-preferred right boot. Has a shot on goal. And kicks a goal against the runner play. And the Swans have got their first against the breeze.
Yeah, it's game on here at Darley Park. If Darley don't get their act together, they're going to find themselves finishing fifth on the ladder here.
Ballarat go to 7 goals, 6-48. They trail Darley 9-5-59. It's an 11-point ball game here at Darley Park. Can you believe it?
If Darley bring this game next week, Toddy, into a first final, I reckon they're about 10 goals down at this stage.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the response here in the second term as Darley's home record is one not to be ignored. They've won 15 in a row at home. Who would have thought that the Ballarat Swans would have the Devils under the pump here this afternoon? But they do trail by 12 points, but they do have the breeze to come home with in the final term. 11 minutes gone in this third term here. Darley with just the one goal through Edwards in this third term. There's the ball up. Ball at ground level. Chance here for O'Farrell through traffic. Ball doesn't sit well for him. Shark there by the youngster there in Prendergast. Right foot kick towards half forward. Chance here for Nick Graham to do the mopping up. Good below the knees. Good gather. Didn't have to break stride in the end. Right foot kick goes out wide towards Harley Inglis. Had space. Got some separation. Hand pass towards Scotland on centre wing members side. Right foot kick. Goes to the attacking 50. Edwards and wide 1-on-1. Edwards wanting a holding decision. Now it sits for him. Hand passes the ball off to Brian Graham. Could have caught one over the shoulder. The umpire said no. Edwards had to do it all on his own. Got it to Baker. Held up in the tackle there by Powling. The umpire will blow the whistle and will come in and effect a ball up 40 metres out from the Darley goal.
Yeah, this is where Ballarat have really been on top around the stoppages, but Darley have been a lot better on the spread than Ballarat.
Tap on that occasion, won by Spiteri. Baker's tackle was excellent, but the umpire, fair enough, very little pride there for Fewless. The umpire will come in and ball it up. Clouds are coming in. Chance here for Brian Graham. Wild hand pass out to the low pocket. Sits okay there for Collie. Kicks the ball across the body. Didn't get enough on it. Edwards forced the spoil. Did well in the end. Got plenty of it. Got it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Adjacent to the behind post in the low defensive pocket. Devils kick to the Grey Street or Town End in this third term with the breeze. And they lead 9-5-59. Ballarat 7-6-48 within touch. There's the throw-in. Tap one by Spiteri. Got it to the other Spiteri and Lee. He was then dispossessed. Fell into the hands of
Collie.
Chance here for Collie. He's told to play it off that touch kick. Right foot kick got checked sideways. Shane Warne, if you don't mind. Bit of a cricket vernacular given the Ashes are on, but that ball just bounced at right angles and went over the line for a boundary throw-in.
I like to see stoppage clearances, Toddy. They've been absolutely dusted, Darley.
Boundary throw-in to take place. It's Spiteri and Powling to do the ruck work. Spiteri in front, Powling at the back. Give that one to Powling. Shark there well by Prendergast. Got the ball into the middle of the ground. Got plenty of carry on that kick to the youngster. Page doing the mopping up. Right foot kick across the body to half forward. Well fielded there by Inglis. Hand pass, speaking of cricket vernaculars, got it to Stevenson, who got it to Scotland, who ran into an open goal and just didn't kick through the footy. The mark was taken on the goal line there by Wind. His short in kick from the last line of defence was okay and found Fraser. Inside their defensive 50 here, Ballarat. They're hanging in. Short left foot kick's okay. Finds Fisher. Take all the time he likes. Keeps the ball low. Barely travelled the required distance. Mark's been taken there by Garner. Right foot kick to half back. Fraser onto the preferred left. Goes to the Social Club side of the ground. Leading into the race for the ball there would have been Sutton. He keeps the ball going forward. Right foot kick inside 50. Will the ball bounce suitably for Hill? Attacking it well there was Leonard. Hooper wanted the Joe the Goose over the back, but he didn't get it. Leonard's clearing kick. Got it towards half back. Chance here for Inglis. Combines with hand pass. Was a pretty ordinary one at that, but Evans did well. Gathered cleanly. Got it to Nick Graham. Good vision there by Graham. The kick was ordinary though. Put Hansen under pressure, but he was up to the task. Gathered cleanly. Got the hand pass to Inglis. Kick to the attacking 50. Edwards wanting the free for the push, but the umpire said no. Paid the mark to Vanderhoovel. Vanderhoovel's left foot kick goes to the Social Club side of the ground. Puts Hobbs under the pump. Runs out of time and space over the line. Boundary throw in. On half forward for the Devils. Social Club side of the ground. They've just added the one goal with the breeze in this term, Dave.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of numbers behind the footy, Ballarat, and then when they run, they're prepared to work a lot harder than Darley midfield, and they're getting out the front.
Powling with the one and then second tap, only as far as Bradley Inglis. Been quiet this term, had an excellent opening half. Chance here for Fisher to combine with hand pass with McPherson. As soon as he gathered, he was dispossessed. Ball spilled free over the line for a boundary throw-in. Attacking side of centre wing for the Devils. Members side of the ground, Social Club side. In Apple 98.5 FM's game of the round. Darley needing to win to secure a third placing this afternoon. Tap one by Powling, knocked it back into the direction of Kennedy, tried to break the tackle of Ankrum. Did so, then threw the ball onto the left boot. Went in the direction of McGrath, he couldn't take the mark. Went off his hands over the line for a boundary throw-in. Ballarat gaining territory. Now on half-forward members' side of the ground for the Swans.
How long we gone, Toddy?
How long we got left in this term, Keenan? Yeah, Matt, nearing 16 minutes gone in this third term. Darley with just the one goal with the breeze. Chance here for Brian Graham now out of the congestion. Had plenty of it. He and brother Nick would be leading the possession count, no doubt, but just hands on hips there. Coach Scotland wouldn't have been happy with that execution there from Brian with a wild hand pass that just was searching, if anything else.
Skills have been sloppy all day.
Only found the boundary line in the end. There's the throw in right in front of the Darley coach's box. Tap one by Powling. Nick Graham went without it in the end. You think Page ends up with it. High right foot kick. Gets plenty of it towards half forward. Cadman had two to beat. Did well to square the contest. Taken to ground there was Fisher. But the umpire says, I'll have it. He'll come in and effect the ball up on half forward members' side of the ground for the Devils. Game being playing in between the arcs in the last 4 or 5 minutes, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ball up, tap one by Powling again, found Kennedy, wielded goad onto the left boot, got towards half forward, kicks okay, found James, too far out to score, right foot kick goes along the line, it's okay, Mark taken, 65 metres out from goal, the Swans. They go looking for Hooper. Blackburn at the back. Excellent ball there from Evans. Knocked the ball to half forward. Inglis gathered. As soon as he did, he was tackled, taken to the ground.
He's paid it.
Oh, the umpire's paid holding the ball. No prior. Disappointing decision there. And Ballarat will have a shot on goal. 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. Needless to say, Andrew Hooper with ball in hand. He's kicked 3 this afternoon, all in the second quarter. They actually outscored the Devils in this third term, Ballarat. They've kicked 1-2 to Darley's 1-1.
The umpires wonder why no one will buy him a beer after the game.
With ball in hand. Normally an excellent shot for goal. Kicks on its way. Coming back with the breeze. He's put it through. Hooper's got his 4th. Ballarat have their 8th. They're 8-6-54. They trail Darley 9-5-59. We've got a 5-point ball game here at Darley Park. It's getting a little close for comfort here, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got to really lift all around the ground, Darley. You'd nearly say Ballarat are favourites from here at the moment. If Darley don't lift their game, they need to get a lot more out of their half-forward line. The likes of Joel Cadman, Blake Colley, Spiteri, they've really got to lift along there. That's where they're getting all their rebound from.
Devils going for an unbeaten run, a clean sheet in 2019. It's under the pump here at Darley Park at the moment as Kennedy out of the congestion, out of the middle again. His hand pass was errant on that occasion. Colley came off half forward, gathered, hand pass to Angwin, who got it to Baker, who got it to Graham. Evans was all on his own on the low side, but he went to the high side, member side, found Stevenson, who gathered, didn't break stride on the run. Right foot kick was an ordinary one of that, but gained about 45 metres for his side. And there will be a boundary throw in 50 metres around from the Darley goal. Devils 8-6-54. Darley 9-5-59. Lead Ballarat 8-6-54. 5-point ball game here at Darley Park. Stick with us on Apple 98.5 FM. Darley needing to win to secure third. Throw in to take place. It'll be just a matter of how much they want it from here on in, Dave. Grey skies overhead now. Hanson in the back, found Inglis. Umpires picked out a free kick. It's going to go to Brian Graham. Umpires played pay on.
That's not
the advantage.
It's not advantage.
Spiteri stopped in his stride to give it back to Graham, but the umpire said no. Advantage. So Spiteri was forced to kick across the body under pressure.
50. He's given 50.
And there's a 50-metre penalty, and it's going to go to Ballarat. And somehow there's just been confusion all over the ground at the last minute.
Well, the rules are if the player stops and puts his hands up, you take the ball back. But the umpires said play on still.
Well, hopefully that's the just what Darley needed to get their backsides into gear in this third term as Hill combines with hand pass to Vanderhoover. Left foot kick goes out wide. The kick's okay. A ball in hand here for the Swans. Member side centre wing, right foot kick goes along the line. Excellent ball there from Stevenson. Blind turn was good from Scotland. Got it to Page. Right hand pass over to Nick Graham. Looks up ahead. Finds Edwards. Excellent vision.
Hit him.
And Edwards has taken a mark right in. It's about 50 metres out from goal. 45-degree angle. There was no one behind him and the defender McPherson. So
great
Edwards has got to go back and have a shot.
Great kick by Graham. It was a 3-on-1 to Edwards, and he laced him, so it would have been away if he didn't. Big kick this, probably kicking from 55.
He's been known to kick them from anywhere this year, Edwards, as this kick's on its way. It's going to go across the face of goal. Won't get the journey to the teeth. Excellent fist through for a rush behind there by Vanderhoovel. Darley struggling with the breeze in this term. They're 9-6-60. Ballarat 8-6-60. There's a goal in it. No rain overhead to speak of as yet. I think it'll hold off for the remainder. But the breeze is still with us, and it's with Darley in this third term, and they've failed to capitalise. Ballarat well in with the show here. Big underdogs going in. There's the kick out of defence. Excellent kick there from Fisher. And it found Vanderhoovel on the defensive 50.
They need to tighten up on him, Toddy. He's really setting them up in this third quarter.
Played well against the Devils in their first meeting. That's an excellent mark there by Constable in front of Baker. Defensive side of centre wing, outer side of the ground. The right foot kick goes towards half forward, goes out in the McGrath direction. Punched away by Angwin over the line for a boundary throw in. On half forward, outer side of the ground there for the Swans. They trail by 6 points. It's the Devils who are kicking with a 3 or 4 goal breeze in this third term, and they've only managed the one through Edwards. That just seems like an hour ago. Bronx cheers for the boundary umpire who nearly threw the ball back into his own face. There's take 2. That's a better effort. Powling won the tap. Scotland overhead there. Found Graham. That was clever. Then he was tackled, taken to the ground. Pinged by the umpire. Hot to trot. Very little pry-up. But nonetheless, Kennedy with ball in hand had a good afternoon. The number 38 for the Swans.
He sure has. He's got off the leash. He likes to push forward hard, so he tries to run forward with the footy a lot.
Left foot kick there from Kennedy. Founds Hooper on the lead, who got away from Leonard. Too far out to score, though, you'd think, even for a man of Hooper's ilk. He's 50 metres out from goal up against the boundary line. The breeze doesn't favour the kick as he goes short. It's effective. Poor checking. Page disappointed. Obviously thought it was someone else's man there, and it's Fisher with ball in hand now. We'll have a shot on goal.
Huge kick in this game.
Tough angle. Has an opportunity to level the scores here at Darley Park, if you don't mind. Right foot kicks on its way. It's not a bad effort. It's bending back. Has it got the journey? It hasn't. Ball's punched free, goes across the face of goal. Chance here for Blackburn, right in front of the Darley faithful there. The reserves crew having a day out over there in the forward pocket. Leonard goes to the outer side of the ground. Excellent kick. Found Stevenson, who hit the ground running. Took a bounce. He'd want to have another one quickly. He's just about run too far. I reckon he went about 35 metres there, Dave. Now he's got ball in hand. Breaks the tackle from Fraser. Throws ball on boot. And it's Swans with all the numbers behind the football. That man again, Vanderhoebel, takes the mark on the defensive 50. Goes 45 degrees backwards to Wind. He just kicks it back to Vanderhoebel. Bit of kick to kick and sharing and keeping's off here by the Swans. Good play. They've still got ball in hand on half back. Up against the boundary line. Told to move along. Excellent ball from the back there from Cullen, negated O'Farrell. And it's gone over the line for a boundary throw-in. Devils under the pump here at Darley Park, Dave.
Oh, they sure are. Ballarat are just working so much harder. Just that last passage of play, you've seen them sprinting back to help out. They got 3 or 4 guys behind the footy and worked it from there. Darley are jogging through the middle of the ground.
Boundary throw-in on half forward, members side of the ground here. James grabs the footy, then tackle barred up. The umpire says, I'll have it. She'll ball it up on half forward. Tap one by Spiteri. Nearly as far as Brian Graham. His hand pass went straight to Baker. Might have caught one over the shoulder. The umpire said no. And there'll be a ball up on half forward, members side, for the Devils. They lead by 1 goal. There's the tap, only as far as James. Been busy today. Barreled up, slung, taken to the ground there by Spiteri. Excellent tackle there from the big fella. And justly rewarded by the umpire. She's had a good day with the whistle. Spiteri plays on. Hand pass over to Nick Graham. Just got away from the would-be tackler there in Powling. Had to give the hand pass to Baker. He's left foot kick. And he's found Vanderhoebel. He's forced to play on. And copying one high there was Sutton. Taken to the ground there by Carrick. And a let-off there for the Swans. They're under the pump. They're inside their own defensive 50. The ball's about 25 metres out from the Ballarat goal. Told to play on by the umpire. Fisher breaks the tackle of Carrick, then gave the ball over towards Fisher. His right foot kick got towards half back. Hurried kick along the line there by the Swans. Good territory kick. Gained about 45 metres for their side. Foul touch over the line for a boundary throw-in on true centre wing members' side of the ground. It's Darley who lead by 6 points here at Darley Park. And we've been playing 25 minutes in this third term. Darley with just the 1 goal through Edwards in this with the breeze in the third term. Nick Graham might have caught one high. The umpire has agreed.
Ooh. Spiteri's just been belted off the footy by their ruckman.
Yeah, Powling's just taken Spiteri out, but Spiteri was running away. Powling just ragdolled him from behind. Pretty easy to do when you're not looking, though, as Nick Graham ends up with ball in hand. Right foot kick over towards Inglis. Inside 50. Will the ball sit there for Edwards at the back? He's got Wine to beat. Ball's had favourably. Edwards got the hand pass that went over the top of Cadman. He's tied up against the boundary line. 25 metres out from goal. He went by hand. Cut off there by Fisher over the line for a boundary throw-in. Bit of physicality creeping into the game here. Wind and Edwards remonstrating. McPherson coming in to let himself know. He's introduced himself to Jake Edwards. There's the boundary throw-in. Pretty ordinary one at that. Found James at the back, and the Swans can get out of trouble. Right foot kick. Goes out wide. Cullen goes back with a fly to the ball. Couldn't take the mark. Good support work there by Z Stratton. Gave it back to Cullen, who squared the footy and found Angwin right in the middle of the ground. Devils want to get the ball moving. Probably want another goal before 3/4 time, you'd think. There's the left foot kick. Read beautifully off the boot there by Hooper, and came running down from attack to mark that ball. Laces out in the end before it got to Inglis. His short kick was okay. Found Sutton donning the long sleeves this afternoon. Goes short, kicks okay, finds Blackburn in front of Spiteri. Been well on top of the Devils since quarter time. Darley have just kicked 2 goals 2 since quarter time, and Ballarat have kicked 6 goals 5, if you don't mind. They combine to and fro with kick. They just kind of hang on to the footy. Conceding some ground by foot there was Sutton. Siren sounds for 3/4 time here at Darley Park. The Devils no good things to make it 16 wins in a row at home and secure 3rd place on the VFL ladder. Much more to play out here. Opening minute, final term. Baker with an awkward looking clearance at the right boot. Comes off the outside there, over the line for a boundary throw in. So boundary throw in to take place here on half forward for the Devils. Now it's Spiteri in front. Powling at the back. Give that one to Powling. He knocked it ball towards ground level. Nick Graham could have been held without it. Yep. Umpire said you're holding his arm. And the Gray brothers have had considerably more of the football than any other player on the ground. And speak of the other Devil, no pun intended, Brian Graham has ball in hand. Attacking side of centre wing. Right foot kick goes along the line, looking there towards Scotland. It's on the wrong side there, but somehow ended up with the footy. Gave the hand pass to Ankrum. He got it to Spiteri. Sent the ball inside 50. Fueless over the football, but the umpire is going to blow the whistle, and he'll effect the ball up 45 metres out from the Darley goal. They kick against the breeze. They've got all the support of the Darley faithful, all the reserves crew up there in the forward pocket. Going to be doing their utmost to get the Devils over the line in this final term. Ball gets towards half-back. Chance here for Brad Inglis. Keeps the ball low. Went looking there towards Angwin. Gathered hand pass over the top. Scotland, open goal. Bang. Just what the Devils needed. They get some breathing space. 12-point ball game here at Darley Park. Scotland gets his second. Darley's 10th. They're 10-6-66. They lead Ballarat 8-6-54.
Yeah, very, very good play by Darley. Threw the magnets around at 3/4 time, and those 3 key players that were thrown around were all involved in that. Edwards got the fist in for a spoil, got kicked into Angwin, and then Angwin, great handball over to Scotland into the open goal.
Devils needing to win to hang on to 3rd place on the table here this afternoon. Sebastopol will finish 2nd, that is true. More to play out here at Darley Park. There's the ball up, tap one by Spiteri, but only as far as Fisher. His hand pass out to wide open space, run into by Colley. Then he was just hijacked there by Ankrum, did well there. Good clean footy. Gave the hand pass over towards Brad Inglis. Waited, right foot kick inside 50, went looking for Cadman. He had the ball knocked away from him. McPherson goes to knock, tries to find the boundary line. Colley gathers, runs out of time and space over the line. Boundary throw in.
Big quarter for Cadman. Vanderhoof was gone to him again, and he's been setting them up. So Cadman's got to go to the right places here and be smart. He'll try and sag off a lot, and if he does, that's when Darley need to hit Cadman up.
Boundary throwing to take place here. Doing the ruck work there was the big fella Powling. Knocked the ball about 20 metres to his side. Page ran onto the footy. Did well there under pressure. Right foot kick. Oh, you're hot to trot here, Edwards. Oh, did well there. Rode the bump there of Fueless. Ended up with the footy there, Edwards. Showed all his strength and ran away. Right foot kick inside 50 was excellent. Great individual effort there, Edwards. Fueless, he's a bit worse for wear after that bump. Angwin, long left foot kick shot on goal. Can you believe it? It's gone from right to left, that kick.
Yeah, huge play that. Jake Edwards coming off half-back. He could have quite easily lost his balance and probably had an excuse to go to ground, but stood up strong and got it moving forward.
Only a minor score registered as the Swans bring the ball back into play. Plenty of carry on that kick as they come to the, defensive side, the outer side of the ground. Z Stratton's under the pump. He's on the defensive side of centre wing. Such was the weight of that kick out of defence there by the Swans. They combine through foot here, the Devils. They get the ball to Cabin, who found Brian Graham just inside the boundary line. Gave it to Brother Nick. He's on 50. Got around one. Then gave it back over the top to Brian Graham. Ran to 35 against the boundary line. Shot on goal. Scotland probably dropped what he would normally have taken there. A little bit disappointed as he claps his hands together. And it's off hands through for a rush behind.
Started a lot better though, haven't they, Darley?
Right foot kick goes straight down the middle. That's what East Point did last week a couple of times. A couple of coast-to-coast goals there for the minor premiers. Ballarat trying not to waste any time. They go forward as Constable marks that kick in. Comes out wide, out of side centre wing. Fraser dropped what he should have taken, but he's got some separation on Nick Graham. He can just lope along onto that preferred left, sends the ball into attack. Hooper's got 3 to beat. Neither Darley player can get a hand on the footy. Over the back is Edwards. Read it well. Wild hand pass went over the head of Page, who wasn't sure whether he thought it was for him. In the end, he might have applied a high tackle there on Wape, and the umpire agreed. McGrath, in fact. And the youngster McGrath will take the free kick, about 25 metres out from goal. Close up against the boundary line.
I think Nick Graham needs a rest shortly. He was running up and down on the spot then when he was chasing.
Yeah, first up for a couple of weeks on the sidelines. Missed the Sunbury game, missed North Ballarat and East Point last week. So first up for a month there, Nick. Here's the kick there from McGrath. Banana kick from the boundary line. Across the face through for a minor score.
Probably not the smartest kick that. That's probably the pocket where you just sit it up and the wind will bring it back for you. But he went the banana.
2-goal ball game here at Darley Park. Edwards marked the kick in. Gave the hand pass over towards Nick Graham. Devils out of trouble to Bewley. Gave it back to Nick Graham. Defensive side centre wing now. Up against the boundary line. Keeps the ball low. Ordinary kick. Missed the target. Scotland was it. Clean bowled. Didn't even go anywhere near him in the end. Such was the errant nature of the kick, and Van der Heuvel did the mopping up. And his short kick was okay. And the Swans can combine with a couple of short kicks. Fisher with ball in hand now. Keeps it low. It's okay. Finds Nichols. Nichols too far out to score. Attacking side of centre wing, out of side of the ground. Onto the left boot, inside 50. 3 to beat there, the target there. And O'Farrell, Page at the front, claiming the mark. Ball goes to ground. Over the footy there is James. You'd think a whistle imminent. There is.
Well, had a fair bit of that, Page. Probably a little bit unlucky not to be paid the mark.
48 metres out from the Swans' goal on the defensive side of the ground, the outer side of the ground we speak of. It's Ballarat kick with a 3 or 4 goal breeze in this final term. Devils eager to hang on. There's the ball up. Tap one by Spiteri. Only as far as Kennedy, who couldn't break the Ankrum tackle. Hand passing ball was okay to James. Then he was bowled up by Spiteri. I speak of Brad, the big fella. Tackles James, takes him to the ground. The umpire will come in and ball it up.
Yeah, they'll be happy with a few stoppages this quarter, Darley.
10-9-69. Darley lead Ballarat 8-7-55. Ball gets towards half-back for the Devils, off hands. Inglis will be happy with that. Over the line, boundary throw in.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll just be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can this quarter, Darley. Stoppage after stoppage, just be a metre game. If they can find the loose man, they'll use it every time.
69 plays 55, 14-point lead of the Devils. There's the boundary throw in, tap one by Powling, went straight to Nick Graham. Got around one tackle, then another of James. Now he's got time to measure the kick. He's got a one-on-one here to Page. Over the back there was the youngster there in Hill. Could have held Page, Carrick it was in fact. Could have held him without, and the umpire called play on. Carrick's hand past the spaceman looking for English, just stole the ball away, did well. Got the ball, taken over the shoulder there was Spiteri. Free kick, you couldn't miss that one, umpire.
He absolutely had his head taken off, but not the easiest kick of goal. Probably 35 yards from goal, you'd think, kicking into the breeze, so it's going to take his best. Yep,
and it's just going to take more precious seconds off the clock, and it's in Darley's forward 50. They'll be happy with that.
Jake Edwards around the back.
Oh, Jake loves a goal. We'll see how he goes from here.
He's got it.
Oh, my God. That is the best kick of the afternoon. The big fella. He's put it through. He's kicked his 4th of the afternoon. And Edwards loves a goal. He even ran down from half-back to put that one through, if you don't mind. Devils get some breathing space. They move out to 11-9-75. They lead Ballarat 8-7-55, 20-point ball game. Much better effort this final term from the Devils.
They're playing a lot better footy, and wouldn't you love to have 2 Jake Edwards in your team? Like, you don't want to take him out the forward line, but he just sets you up so well across that half-back line.
Darley needing to win this afternoon to secure a 3rd place finish at the end of the home and away season. They lead by 20 points. There's the ball up. Tap one by Powling. Baker, clever tap to Spiteri, then just kick the ball into Baker. Baker gathered. Hand pass over to Nick Graham. Right foot kick towards half forward. Hanson wanted the push. The umpire called play on. They thought Wind infringed, but the umpire said no. Sutton under the pump there. Got it back to Wind. Went further afield towards Nichols, who's got some space. Gets onto the preferred left foot. Overcooked the kick towards Garner. Doing the backing up there is Page. You can measure the kick along the line towards Hanson. Needs to be strong overhead. Mark Andor over the shoulder. Take your pick. Hanson hung onto the footy. Devils on top here at Darley Park. Along the line finds Spiteri. Going to 16 in a row at home today, the Devils. That was certainly in question at three-quarter time, and the coach Scotland has asked something of his Devils outfit to secure third place. Brian Graham pushed over the line there on that marking attempt from the Spiteri kick over the line, boundary throwing. Half forward out of side of the ground for the Devils. They're kicking into the breeze that has momentarily just lessened a little in the last few minutes. There's the throw in. Spiteri in front. Give him that tap. Found Spiteri. Quick hands back to Brad. Spiteri I speak of. Ball at ground level. Quick hand pass out of the congestion. Found Prendergast. Got around two tackles there in Graham and Spiteri. Right foot kick towards half forward. Who had two to beat at the back of the pack. Reading it well there was Stevenson. He wheels and goes. Onto the right boot. Kick along the line. Looking there towards Nick Graham, who tried to push Fisher off the footy and protect the ball space. He did that, but ball drifted away from Graham over the line for a boundary throw. And out of side centre wing, Darley lead by 20 points. 11-9-75, plays 8-7-55. There's the throw in. Tap one by Powling. Only as far as Spiteri. Been okay today, Spiteri. Right foot kick along the line. Good kick. Found Carrick, who took a nice mark just inside the boundary line. Too far out to score. Probably 3.5 kicks. 2 for Edwards, you'd think. Carrick kicks the ball in the Scotland direction. Might have been infringed. The umpire said no. Clever tap from Hanson. Over to Spiteri. Spiteri to the top of the goal square.
Right.
Coming out, taking a mark on the chest there is Ankrum, I think.
Angwin. He's been very lively in this last quarter, Spiteri. As soon as it's been drop of ball, he's been the first one onto it, which we're really lacking in the first 3 quarters.
Angwin with ball in hand. Being sent forward for this final term. Can extend Darley's lead to 26 points in this final quarter.
Normally a nice kick.
Let's see how he goes. 15, 20 metres out from goal. Left foot.
Missed it.
Pokes at it. Misses off to the right. Disappointing finish. He kicked 2 behinds in this term, Angwin. 11 goals, 10 Darley. 76. Lead Ballarat 8-7-55.
Could have just about iced the game there, Toddy.
We've got a 21-point ball game. Yep, Devils need another one, you'd think. How long we've been playing in this final term? 12 and a half minutes gone, final term here at Darley Park. Devils aiming for a third place finish and 16 in a row at home. Inglis out of the congestion. Right foot kick to the man you speak of, Lee Spiteri. Plays on, lazy kick. Put Nick Graham under the pump, but he's up to the task. His kick across the body is one of the Franklin Fruits goals of the day. And that might be enough to see the Devils home. 13 minutes gone, final term. Nick Graham has his 3rd goal of the afternoon. And the Devils, they're 12-10-82. They lead Ballarat 8-7-55.
Yeah, we said at 3/4 time with Darley needed a big lift from their midfield, and hasn't Nick Graham led from the front in that department. He probably had 8 touches this quarter. He's been involved in everything, and now he's hit the scoreboard. Going to be hard to go past him for best on ground.
Back in the middle of the ground here at Darley Park. There's the ball up, tap one by Powling. Definitely in their best today. So too Kennedy. There goes Baker out of the middle today. Well, for the moment there, left foot kick's okay. Inglis sort of made a bit of a mess of that. I speak of Harley, but his second effort was fantastic. Kept his feet, ran away from McPherson. Right foot kick, went looking in the Scotland direction. Ball breaks free. Bewley can't affect a tackle. Ball goes to ground. The ball spills away from Hobbs over the line for a boundary throw-in. Nichols, in fact. 50 metres around from the Darley goal. They lead the Devils by 27 points. 3rd place on the table beckons for the Devils if they can win. There's the throw-in. Hanson in front. Wins that tap. Pressure's gone up a bit here from the Devils defensively as Nick Graham's hand pass to Scotland is cut off. Scotland's tackle is high. It'll go against the coach. Free kick will be taken there by Sutton on the last line. He goes short. Finds Nichols. Turn around, but needs to get on that preferred left. They've got 3 players running here. Hill leads into the race of the ball. Excellent pressure there from Edwards. He's got Angwin, but he's bailed up. Someone grabbed hold of his arm there. was a good tackle in the end there from the Swans. 4 players on the ground. 2 remain standing, and it's Angwin who runs away with the footy. Left foot kick inside 50. Scotland with the set, couldn't take the mark. Inglis at the back, could have been held. Nick Graham, there's another one. Bang, he kicked his 4th.
And lay the glasses down. That's the best on-ground performance.
Nick Graham has his 4th goal of the afternoon. Darley have their 4th goal from the term. They're 13 goals, 10, 88. They lead Ballarat 8-7-55. Darley have added 4-4 against the Breeze in this final term. Ballarat just the one behind.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few people over Darley's coaches box after even a little bit lighter now.
Darley looks set for a 3rd place finish and will play Redan next week. That is the scenario.
And we have Dougie Jackson down here and he's singing, so the fat lady has sung.
There's the ball up, middle of the ground. Hanson's gone into the ruck, but Powling won that tap. Went to Kennedy. Excellent tackle there from Ankrum. Opportunity here for Garner. Blind turn was good. Left foot kick inside 50. Stevenson the fly. Hooper just tried to push him under the ball there with a bit of a tunnel, and then he falls over. Stevenson was good there. Got the hand pass over towards Cullen. Goes looking for Angwin. Over to his head. Punched away there by Vanderhoovel. Harley Inglis gathers. Runs inboard. Back onto the preferred right foot. It goes inside 50 looking for Brian Graham. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball goes to ground. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll go to Brian himself. And he'll have ball in hand 50 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, really good there. Started down back again by Stevenson. He's hit up his brother again here. I think Stevenson going back onto Hooper's really worked for Darley. A lot better match-up.
Now Nick Crane with ball in hand.
Going to snap it.
I'm not sure what he... Yeah, no, just marking his ground like a
fast
small
bowler.
animal does when they're marking their territory. As Nick Graham heads in for goal number 5. Devils well on top here in this final quarter. They've added 4 goals, 4 to Ballarat's 1 point. Kicking against the Breeze here too, the Devils. Very encouraging finish here. Kicks on its way.
Nice kick.
Has it got the journey to the teeth of goal? Has it gone off hands? The goal umpire says it has, through for a rush behind. As much as players keep carrying on. Keep an eye on the goal umpire.
50 metres against Brian Graham. He had a shot after the umpire said it was a point.
Oh, okay. So, a minor score to the Devils and 50 metres against. Ball back into play. Into the middle of the ground, the ball goes. Over the head of Hobbs. Baker at ground level. Over the footy. Tackle. Taken to the ground. Held to him. And there'll be a ball up. Right in the middle of the ground here at Darley Park. Grey skies overhead. Bit of rain later tonight, you'd think, but there'll be none in for the duration of this game either. There's the ball up, tap one by Powling. Opportunity here for O'Farrell, who goes crashing through, but tackle taken to the ground by Bewley. And the umpire says, I'll have it. He'll ball it up right in the middle of the ground. 13-11-89 Darley lead Ballarat 8-7-55. 34-point lead to the Devils. They'll make it 16 in a row at home, unbeaten at home since round 2 2018. Of course, when they went down by Melton by 30 points. Be a repeat stoppage here on half forward, outer side of the ground here for the Swans. The goal kickers for Ballarat today, Hooper has 4. 2 to Kennedy, 1 each to James and Garner. There's the ball up, tap one by Powling. Got it to Garner. Over to Prendergast, smothered, did well there, Baker, but then he just ran away and gathered the footy, gave the hand pass over to Bewley. His kick was beautifully weighted out in front of Carrick on the left boot, goes out wide in the direction of Scotland. He got 2 to beat, Wine's one of them. He hand passes over the top to the other in Sutton. Right foot kick gets the Swans out of trouble. Excellent kick, found Blackbird, who marked just in front of Z Stratton. Member side centre wing position. They need to get the ball rolling here, the Swans. But it's a bridge too far from here, you'd think. Right foot kick gets beyond half forward. There's Bewley again, tackled, taken to the ground, but managed to get a hand pass away to Leonard. Leonard's quick hands, got to Cullen, who got it to Evans, got it back to Ankrum, tackled, taken to the ground. Umpire says, holding the ball. And the Swans will take the free kick from just inside the boundary line. On half forward, Social Club side on the ground. Kick inboard's okay. Vanderhoovel. He was off and gone. Left foot kick goes into the Hooper direction. Leonard at the back, so too Stevenson. Excellent leap from the youngster. Knocked the ball forward to the favour of Harley Inglis. His right foot kick was pretty ordinary at that, but somehow it ended favourably for Cabin, who ran. Kicked the ball into the middle of the ground looking forwards. Nick Graham tried to break the tackle. He couldn't do so. The umpire says held to him. He'll ball it up. Attacking side of the middle of the ground here for the Devils. And they lead comfortably now by 34 points.
Yeah, they'll be trying to run just time off the clock now. They don't want to get any late injuries or anything.
There's the ball up. Ball just bounced on its own, and in the end, Kennedy ends up grabbing the football. Found Prendergast. Hurried right foot kick, gets beyond half forward. Devils have got numbers. Hooper's the only one at home here for Ballarat. Leonard, Stevenson, somehow it ended up in Hooper's hands, who got it to Fraser. He was tackled by Leonard, taken to the ground, dropped it like a hot spud. The umpire put the whistle in the mouth, just forgot to blow it as Edwards ended up with the footy. His right foot kick went members side out to the centre wing, and the mark's been taken there by Nick Graham. POG today, the number 3, back on the side today after 3 weeks off. Right foot kick finds Collie. Collie with ball in hand. Can go short. High kick. Puts, it's good enough for Cullen. Doesn't have to break stride as he runs away with the right foot kick out in the direction of Scotland. Couldn't try to take the mark. Wheels and goes back onto the right foot. Chips the ball over the top to Graham. Unselfish play. Graham, shot on goal. He's put it through. Brian I speak of. And Brian kicks his second of the afternoon. And Darley's 14th. They've really kicked away in this final term against the Breeze, if you don't mind, Dave Hoey.
Yeah, really kicked away. Showed that they are a class team. There was a few dangerous times there for a little bit, but just get back again to, I've probably been going on about it a bit this quarter, but Stevenson on Hooper, the amount of drive he's given Darley off that half back line this quarter and put Darren Leonard back up to where he normally plays, has played into Darley's hands. It's been all over Hooper this quarter.
Back in the middle of the ground here, Darley will finish third and make it 16 in a row at home. And will play Redan next week. First spin of rain overhead. Ball ends up with Spiteri, who got it to Hanson, who got it to Brian Graham, and he took a mark 50 metres out from goal.
Great kick by Hanson.
Brian Graham, ball in hand, 50 metres out from goal. It's been an excellent finish from the Devils in this final term.
Wants to set it up, goes for the pass to Cadman.
Out wide there, look, has he got the mark, has he, Cadman?
Nah.
I just took eyes off the footy there for a sec to check my scorecard there, and thankfully, Dave, you're all over that. Was that a mark to Ballarat?
Van der Hoogle maybe came and chopped it off, I think. Yeah.
Well, he'll sleep well tonight, the big fella. Not only does he not have to worry about footy next week, he can rest that leg.
He's also a fast bowler for Golden Point, so hopefully he's hurt himself for cricket season.
McPherson, risky kick across the face of goal, spilled in the hands of Scotland, across the body. If it ain't mine, Scotland's got his third. The Devils have got their 15th, and they're well and truly home here at Darley Park.
Yeah, they've really kicked away now, Darley.
That's 6 goals against the Breeze in this final term. They're 15 goals, 11, 101. Ballarat are 8-7-55. It's out to 46 points. Someone check the Lake Windaree score. We'll just do that. You never know, Lake Windaree. What's going on down there? We'll need an almighty comeback. Melton South have kicked out to a 5-goal lead over North Ballarat, if you don't mind.
Geez, there'll be a big party down south.
Melton lead Redan by 64 points, and Sabassa 86 points up on Lake Windaree. Sunbury 55 points up on Sunbury. On Bacchus Marsh. There's the ball up. Chance here for Z Stratton to break out of the middle. Clearance for him. Right foot kick. Goes out wide looking towards Hanson. His closing speed was good, but he didn't quite make it. He got a terrible bounce. Chance here for the Swans. Excellent work there by Z Stratton to effect a spoil on Garner. Collie lends support. Right foot kick from inside the boundary line. Carrick might have been infringed. The umpire called play on. Chance of Fisher to get the ball to Wine. To Blackburn on the bounce. He made it look easy. Right-hand pass was good. Found some space for his the youngster there in Hill. Awkward looking left foot tumbling kick. It's towards half forward. No one at home for the Swans. Edwards attack on the footy was good. Page clever. Back to Edwards. And the Devils will get out of trouble. Right foot kick. It's just touched, diving chance there from Z Stratton. Managed to get a hand on it over the line for a boundary throw-in.
I've noticed Blake Colley's had a pretty solid game, I'd say. I reckon he'll sleep pretty easy this week. His spot's pretty secure for the first final. He's been good.
Not a bad side on paper, the Devils, at the moment. And they'll really take it to Redan next week. Without Lockie George, Oren Stevenson and Sean Grigg today. As Hill will do the mopping up here for the Swans. Right foot kick was good. Found Kennedy. He'll want to get onto his preferred left. He does so. Look at that for a kick. Found James on half forward. Goes along with the right foot kick. Had Hooper on the lead. Ignored that. Went long for goal. And missed off to the near side. Minor score.
Stevenson plays.
Not long left in this final. Not long left. Leonard marks the kick in. Played on, got the ball to Harley Inglis. Right foot kick from half back, gets to half forward. Hanson was strong in that contest, kept his feet, did well. Second effort was good. Then Baker came in, swooped on the footy, wheeled around onto the left boot, found Carrick, got to half forward. Wild hand passes okay, over to Scotland, runs his full measure. Open goal, put down your glasses. Scotland's got another one, he's got 4.
He's had 4. He's had plenty of the footy today. He's really worked himself back into some form leading into finals, which could be a real problem for some opposition clubs.
So now Nick Graham, Jake Edwards and Scotland getting the lion's share of the goals for the Devils this afternoon. And this has ended up a bit of a spanking in the end. 16-11-107. Darley lead Ballarat 8-7-55. There was a goal in it at three-quarter time and the Ballarat were coming home with the breeze.
Yeah, and I actually thought Ballarat were going to run over them.
Ball up in the middle of the ground. Bowling's tried ever so hard in the ruck for the Swans all day. Won that tap again. Bacon been okay in this final term. Caught one high over the shoulder. And he'll take a free kick on half back. He won't be in a hurry to get rid of this footy. Job nearly done for the Devils in the home and away season. Baker on the left boot. Awkward looking kick, pretty poor one in the end. Fraser just ran back with the flight. Took an uncontested mark, left foot kick. Square kick was okay to the middle of the ground, found Hill. Moves all right, the youngster. Goes the old-fashioned roost inside 50. No one at home. Edwards read it beautifully. No chance for Hooper. And Edwards can come. Defensive side. 45 kick. Finds Collie. Inside defensive 50. Right foot kick. Needed to be more to the advantage of Page, that kick. Put him under the pump. Opportunity here for O'Farrell and Blackburn. O'Farrell goes the shepherd. Blackburn goes the hand pass. And Page squares it away with Garner over the line boundary. Throwing on half forward out of sight of the ground here for the Swans. It's Darley who leads 16-11-107. Ballarat 8-7-55. Boundary throw in. Tap one by Powling once again. Chance here for James. Quick hands was okay. Got it over to Prendergast, to Powling, to Kennedy, who ran to 50. Left foot kick, penetrating one at that, had plenty of it, and he's put it through. That's reward for a fair game of footy today for Kennedy. He's got his third of the afternoon at Ballarat's first of the final term. And they move to 9-7-61. They're within 46. Darley 16-11-107. Devils are home here at Darley Park, but just rewards there for Kennedy's hard work this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. He's been great today. If Ballarat can keep this squad together and add 2 or 3 players, they'll be the big improver next year. I like what they've got.
And the Devils next week against Redan. Redan will get Lockie George back. It'll be interesting to see the progress of the ageing ruckman and how important he is to that side. We'll see whether he comes up. There's the ball up. Tap one by Powling again. Baker and Z Stratton combining.
And will Sean Grigg play? That's another big question.
Yeah. Devils, of course, defeated Redan in their first meeting here at Darley Park by 43 points. So Redan have got a bit way to come back to make amends for that in trying conditions when Nick Graham had 46 disposals and 18 clearances for the day in a clear best on ground performance.
No Scotland that day. Had a couple out actually, Darley.
There's the ball up. Tap favoured Cadman. The quick hands got it to Z Stratton, who threw traffic, found Harley Inglis to Collie through the middle of the ground. Right foot kick inside 50. Angwin the target, couldn't quite take the mark. Ball goes to ground. Chance here for Edwards. Hands off was okay to Inglis. Tumbling right foot kick's okay. And the kick has been marked safely in the hands of Lee Spiteri, I think. Is it?
Jackson Carrick.
Oh, Jackson Carrick.
And Angwin's been pretty good up forward this quarter. I think it's something they may have to look at going into the final, Toddy. Like, they've really lacked a big guy across half forward, and at times they probably get a bit tall down back. So it could be something they throw at Redan.
Well, Carrick kicked a couple of goals last week against East Point when he was moved forward. Let's see if he can convert here. chance of kicking Darley's 17th of the afternoon. Kicks on its way. He likes it. Much to the delight of the Darley faithful in the forward pocket there, the Wells-rested pocket.
Yeah.
Carey kicks his first of the afternoon. Darley have their 17th. They're 17-11, 1-1-3. They lead Ballarat 9-7, 61. 52-point lead to the Devils.
Yeah, nice kick by Carrick. He's been telling Scotland for a few years that he's a forward, and he's finally got him up there. He's hit the scoreboard in the last 2 weeks. He under 17s Hepburn, he actually kicked 150 goals in the season, so he does know where the goals are.
That's the Devils' 8th goal of the final term into the breeze, if you don't mind. There's the tap. We'll give that one to Spiteri. Chance here for Ankrum over the footy. Spiteri caught one high. Umpire agreed. He'll go back and have that free kick. It's Inglis, in fact. Harley gave it to Spiteri, gave it to Cadman. 30 seconds to go. Right foot kick. Inside the attacking 50, the big fly there was Brian Graham, couldn't take the mark. Blackburn does the sharking for Ballarat. His short kick was okay to Garner. He goes lateral to half-back, Members side. Kick's okay. Found the youngster McGrath. His right foot kick, combining with another youngster there in Hill. He marks just inside the boundary line. Right in front of the Darley coach's box, defensive side of centre wing, Members side of the ground. And Hill could well be the last possession of the afternoon. Indeed it is. Vice Captain Darren Leonard thumps the ball over the line. Siren sounds here to end proceedings here at Darley Park, and the Devils have finished with a resounding victory, 17-11, 1-1-3. They've defeated Ballarat 9-7, 61. The Devils have made it 16 in a row at home, unbeaten in the home and away season of 2019. They'll finish third. We'll take a break, and we'll be back and just fill you in on what else happened in Ballarat Football League this afternoon.
This quarter was proudly sponsored by Darley Bearing Supplies, Albert Street, Darley. Phone 53676766.
This broadcast of BFL Game Day is proudly sponsored by Western Screens, Blinds and Awnings, 35A Griffith Street, Bacchus Marsh. Phone 5370 1478.
Is it time to get out and clean the garage or maybe even spruce up the garden? If a skip bin is what you're after, give station sponsors Jess and Leanne Waste Solution a call. If filling up a skip bin isn't your go, Jess and Leanne can offer you a full service package where they can pick up your waste for you. Look them up on Facebook, Jess and Leanne's Waste Solution, where waste finds a solution.
Friendly Fruits have arrived in Bacchus Marsh at Shop 56 in the Village Shopping Centre, specialising in fresh fruit,